So we've been pushing really hard to get that GU Patrol budget build done, but I've had a lot of people asking me in the comment section, where is the 2023 Hilux Rogue build and do we have an update on it? So we've got a whole bunch of stuff here ready to put into the Hilux today to try to improve the touring setup. I'm going to overhaul the whole setup. So let's get stuck into it today. We're going to get started with the unboxing. Can't wait. It's going to be a good one. So the reason for having so many boxes here and so many items we're going to be putting into the Hilux today is I'm still trying to get around the lack of storage solutions that I used to have for my Toyota Prado, where I had a drawer system in there and everything had a place. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that with such a flexible setup with this ute. Having the cargo box on top of the load bars have been fantastic, but the cargo box is just a bit too high up, and trying to get things out of there, such as kitchen items, things that you use regularly, it's just too much of a hassle. So I've got some boxes here, some cargo boxes going to help us out with that today. So I've got 2 of them. I'm also experimenting a little bit with some water solutions. So I got a water, it's like a 20 litre, kind of like a water jerry can, and it's got a tap on there too. So that's going to be a take in, take out solution, because I don't want to have anything set in the tray, so I can use it for work, play, and all that other stuff as well, DIY sort of stuff. And I've also got a tie down track here as well. I've already got 2 to hold the fridge in, but I want to install another 2 here to hold down the cargo boxes, which I'll show you how that's all going to set up in a minute. Now, sitting here at the very back is a Bluetti solar panel. So it's a fold-up solar blanket. So that's going to be very handy as well. Bluetti sent that out to me to try and to make some content about, so that you guys can see what it's all about. And I've never used a solar panel like this before. So I had a solar panel on my old Prado, and that just stayed on the roof permanently, but I didn't really like it. It whistled and did all those sorts of things where you constantly had to have it on the vehicle, and I never ended up using it. So I'm hoping that by having it as a blanket, it's going to encourage me to move it around a little bit so it can get some more sun, because whenever I had my Prado, I always parked it in the shade anyway, so it didn't get too hot. So it defeated the whole purpose of having the solar panel on the roof anyway. The solar blanket is going to be something I'm going to be trying to see how it can fit in with my long-term touring setup. So that's the idea. That's what we've got here today. I'm going to start unboxing all this stuff and show you exactly what it looks like, and then we'll get started with mocking it all up to see how I plan on fitting all this into the rear tray. And then we can get started on the install of the tracks, and then we can also see how it all looks and start fitting out some of the things into the boxes, into the cargo boxes. And we might also try out this solar panel as well, and we'll see how it works. So let's get stuck into it now. So with these adjustable tie down racks, they're very simple. It's a few bolts into the tray. I've already made a dedicated video on this, so if you guys want to check that out, you can. So it's not going to be a dedicated install for this. I have made a video on this which you guys can check out. So I'm not going to show you exactly how to install this today, but I will be putting this in the vehicle. And again, $23.50 for just these smaller ones, and you can pay a little bit extra if you want to get the extra longer ones. And I got these from Bunnings, which is just a hardware store here in Australia, if you are watching this somewhere else. But yeah, check out your local hardware stores. Sometimes the dedicated full driving stores will sell very similar items that you can find in hardware stores, and they'll be a lot more expensive in those full drive stores as opposed to just picking something up from the hardware shop. So I haven't been able to find anything as good as these for the price in full drive stores. So very handy. We'll install those today, but let's have a look at these boxes and I'll show you exactly what I bought. What's a little bit of a worry is I bought these 2 Front Runner Wolfpack Pro boxes, and they've arrived and they're 2 different shape boxes. So I'm not too sure what we're going to get with these. Maybe one's smaller, maybe one's bigger. Hopefully they're the same size and they just sent them in different boxes. So I've got 2 of the Wolfpack Pros. So this is the very first one here, and I've never seen these actually face to face. I've only ever seen them in reviews, but the reviews for them have been very good. So I'm hoping that they're tough. They say that they're weather resistant, so I'm hoping that that is true, because these are going to cop an absolute flogging when I take this up to the very top of Australia, which is an episode coming up very soon. And yeah, I'm very excited to share that adventure with you guys. So we need to get all this stuff for that big adventure, so make sure that everything doesn't get all dust in it, such as all the food and also important stuff like tools. So this is the very first thing that we got here. This is our first box, and yeah, let's have a little bit of a better look at this before we might open up the second one as well. Let's see what we got in here. I don't quite know why they did that. So these are the Wolfpack Pros. They have 4 locking little buckle things, which are made out of still plastic, but they look like an aluminium almost. And very heavy duty plastic, which is excellent. And I am hoping that this little rubber seal on the inside here will keep everything out of the dust and also out of the water, although it's not that big of a deal because it is going to be in an enclosed tray. But you know, people I've been talking to have been saying that prolonged use of this vehicle over dirt does get dirt inside the tray. Although I have done an off-road test on this and I didn't find that, but erring on the side of caution, make sure I got some boxes to keep all the dirt and water out of all the places that it shouldn't be in. So those are the two Wolfpack Pros. Put them off to the side. And again, ideal for take in, take out stuff. And I'll be able to keep all of my boxes ready to go, fully packed. And you know, so when I go camping, makes it nice and easy. Now this here is the water tank. So it's a 20 litre, it's called the Pro water tank. And I spent a little bit of extra money on getting the tap for it because it doesn't actually come standard with a tap. So I found that one a little bit strange, but anyway, the tap looks like it's a pretty decent unit from what I can tell, and it's, you know, lockable and stuff. So if you have it on the outside of your tray or whatever, you're able to easily lock it. So that's it there. That's the extra tap that it came with. And this is the water tank. Very light, which is excellent, exactly what I wanted. So yeah, so that's the water tank there. And what I like about this one in particular is that it's got these two loops here, which I'm hoping, from my measurements anyway, they will line up perfectly with the one of two tie downs that come with the Hilux, which a lot of people complain about, but it's got a little tie down on the side here. So I'm hoping to try to push it in front of the wheel arch, and yeah, hopefully it'll be able to stay there with the very small tie down that we have in there. So with the factory mount. So that's what that's for, and that's the it's a very heavy duty sort of water tap there. So yeah, very interesting. Can't wait to set that up as well. Looks like it's got all the O-rings and stuff for it. So hopefully it doesn't leak like my last jerry can did, which is why I spent a little bit extra on this because I didn't want everything to leak. And our final item is this Bluetti solar blanket, which again, like I've said, I've never used one of these before. So open it up, have a bit of a look at it. It says it's around 9-ish kilos. So it weighs quite a bit. So I'll see how I'm going to fit this into my build, whether it goes towards the back, see how heavy duty it is. So it'd be interesting to see how this will fit in with my build. But it is needed because when I pull up to camp for a long period of time, I need it to power and to charge up my power stations. I've got two, and it's going to help charge up that Bluetti that I've got. So very happy about this, and it's going to be something I'm going to use a lot as well. Now this puts out a maximum of 200 watts. So we've got 200 watts of solar panels here, which is excellent. It's exactly what we want. I think I had about 120 watts on top of the Prado, so this is a lot more than what I had on the Prado, which is fantastic. And that's the advantage of having a fold-up system, because it means that you can get more surface area, which is something for all the electrical nerds out there, you'd find that pretty interesting. Talking about surface area and how much we can fit on our vehicles, I mean, blankets are a fantastic idea. So whoever came up with that, fair play, because that's a great idea. When you run out of hands, you just got to use what's available, guys. What can I say? All right. So, oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting it to look like this. Yeah. It's kind of got this cloth on the outside. Beautiful build quality. And it's even got a little pouch on the other side. It's even got a little pouch on the other side for all your cables. And it's got a weather sealed zip. Oh, wow. This is much nicer than I deserve, I think. And you got your solar outputs there. That is a great idea, having the output in the zipper so it's protected. That's fantastic. What a great idea. And now that must be the stand as well, I assume. The carry handle, I don't know. Wow. Oh, wow. Can't wait to test this out. I'll do that towards the end of this video. That's fantastic. Look at that. And I like the fact that it's so thin, because I'll be able to put this, I won't be putting it in the tray, I don't think, because it's just standing height-wise, it will foul. So I'll probably end up putting that in the back area as well, which is where I put my power stations anyway. So not that big of a deal. But yeah, wow, that's a beautiful piece of equipment, that is. Oh, gorgeous. Can't wait to play with that later. Hey guys, before we move on to the next part of today's video, can I get you to do me a massive favor, and that is to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much to those people who are joining the channel, joining the community, and sharing your opinions with us. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much, and it helps me out in more ways than you can imagine. But also liking the video, all that sort of stuff, it really does help, guys, and it helps get these videos out to more people so we can continue growing the community. So thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and doing all those good things. Let's get on with the video. All right, now before I start going drilling holes everywhere, before I start drilling holes everywhere, need to put the fridge in, and I need to put all the stuff that we want to put in the back here and kind of mock it all up and see where I want these tie down tracks to go. So that's kind of what we're doing now. So we'll get these wolf packs in, we'll see where the water fits up, and yeah, we'll see how it will all sit. And then we can mark up where we want those tracks to go. My thinking is probably another track here and another track here, just to tie down the boxes. And then that will give us another tie down spot to loop between here and the factory tie down rail if needed. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I just need to get the measurements right. Otherwise, we're gonna run into problems, I think. So let's do that now. We're gonna get this water tank in first, see how that looks. Potentially have already run into problems. Might have to turn that around like that. And then yeah, something like that. So I've got these little tie downs here I'm just gonna stuck around with. And so that's what the first one looks like there. And then the second one goes in like that. Comes up to about the same height as the fridge, exactly as planned. I reckon that's the easiest way to do it, because if you guys have a Hilux or Hilux Rogue of your own, the wheel sits right under the middle here, so you have to drop that wheel out to be able to put the bolts in there for the tie down. But with these side ones here, you don't even need to do that. So it'll save us a lot of time and a lot of hassle. So you guys can see where I'm at with my thought process. I don't think that anything's going to fit between those two tracks anyway. So I'm just going to end up using that same middle track that we are using for the fridge as well. And I'm going to use that for the box too. I tested it out with the longer stuff I have, which is my stretcher for my swag. And I've also got my camping chair in there too. Two very long items, but either way, they're going to be kind of impeded. Doesn't matter if I put another tie down rack there or not. And the stuff that's going in here isn't going to be super heavy. It's more here that I want a dedicated track there. So I think that's going to be the way forward. So yeah, I'm going to get that track installed, loop it over, and then we should be all good. Now, if you guys are wondering, one, why the birds are so loud, just the way it is, it's where I live. But the second thing is that if you're wondering why I'm sweating so much, as you can see, you're going to see a lot of sweat on my shirt and on my face. And it's because it's still so hot here, guys. We're up here in Cairns, and yeah, the humidity is through the roof. We just had another big rain, and the sun's coming out again. And so yeah, it's 30 degrees, and humidity's up probably 80-90%. So yeah, it makes working in the carport difficult. And you try to put on things like your fan and that, and all you guys would hear is that. So doing my best here, guys, with what we have, and hopefully the weather cools down soon. But regardless, we're gonna get this track in, and then yeah, we're gonna that should be it. And then I'll let you guys know why I went with this plan, and why you probably should as well do this sort of fit out. And yeah, and I'll kind of let you know some of my thoughts on why we did that. And then we'll check out that solar panel, which I'm looking forward to having a crack at, because I have been running my, I better turn that off because that's going to be annoying for you guys. I've been running the Bluetti EB3A, which has got a whole pile of great stuff on it, but it's down to about 66% now. So I want to give that a go at charging by using like a real case scenario. So I'm going to put it out in the backyard, set it all up, and see how fast it charges this afternoon. So it should be an interesting little exercise that I'm going to put that little put that solar panel through and put that power station through as well. So let's get that tie down track installed, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on why I went for this setup. I get a lot of people saying, oh, the carpet in the back is so stupid, why is it even there? Well, guess what, guys? If you don't like it, let me show you how easy it is to take out. And I haven't taken this out, keep in mind, for about 3 or 4 months now. So there we have it, folks. The setup is done. I've got that nice tie-down track there, all done. Thank you, my brother Evan, for coming over and giving me a hand. It is a two-man job. I tried to do it myself, but it just wasn't working. So he came over to the rescue. Thank you very much. And I've got the water tank there. I managed to finagle one of the elastic tie-downs to be able to keep the water tank in place. And I've got the two Wolfpack Pros. And of course, I've got the My Coolman 53-litre dual zone in there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's all turned out. The reason why, and we're going to get into that now, so the reason why I chose to have the setup like this is I want everything to be within reach. I've found that with the cargo box on the top is that I'm getting up towards and up on top of the car to be able to get things down, but I can't see what I'm doing. And I'm getting things down, and then I realize, oh, I forgot something else. So I have to go back up, climb up onto the wheel like this, reach in, get the other thing that I forgot, and then I'm good to keep cooking and stuff. And it's just not working out. So the reason for this is to try to get more of the stuff that I access regularly. So we're talking about things like the gas burner, all my food and stuff like that. So that's all gonna be here. Dog stuff, towels, all that sort of stuff. It's all gonna be here, either tucked away in gaps or in these boxes here. So my plan is to put kitchen stuff in here and then food stuff in there. Keep it super simple. So I've got water, food, cooking, and then obviously more food as well. There's a theme here, isn't there? So that's kind of my plan. And when I pull up to camp, my idea is I get the swag off the top. Anything that I need from my cargo box, I get that down straight away, which I'm just going to be keeping tools and extra parts in there. I'm also going to put Max Tracks on top of that cargo box as well, something I'm going to do before the trip. So Max Tracks, all that stuff, the stuff that I'm not going to use all the time, that's all going to go up here for touring anyway. That's all going to go up here, and then the stuff that I use all the time, that's going to be here. So your basic stuff that you pull up to camp and you need, things like your power banks, torches, all that sort of stuff. It's all going to be either here or in the cabin where I can get to it very easily. So my idea is I pull up to camp, if I want to get some food or something, or food out for the dog, that's always in there. And then I can come over to here and I can undo the tie down for these front runner boxes, pull them out, put them either on the ground or on a table, and then I will get my water out. And then I'll be able to have fresh water. And I probably won't even use this for drinking water. I might, but I'll probably just end up using that just for things like washing your hands, washing the dishes, just that extra 20 liters that I always feel like I'm using my drinking water for. So I'm going to be using that. So that's just going to be set up either perched up here or I'll stick it on my table. I'll just use it for washing dishes, like I said, washing my hands, all that sort of stuff, washing the feet after getting all muddy and dirty. So that's the plan for that water container. Now, that's the idea. Everything, and the reason why I decided to go with this setup is everything is within reach. As you can see, towards the back of the tray is dead space. It's really hard to get to. And again, you need to do these sorts of things to be able to get into it, and that's no good. So what we want to be doing is putting all the stuff that's easy to reach, and long as well, that's all going in towards the back, which means that I can just drag it through. And then anything as well, like the soft stuff like bedding and stuff like that, I always keep like my pillows and stuff like that all in just one big canvas bag, and I just stick that in the back here and I can just pull that out too. So simple stuff, but all the big heavy stuff and the stuff that I use all the time has to be within arm's reach. So my next job that I'm going to do before I pack up and get ready to go to the trip to the tip will be to fill out all this stuff here, take out a lot of that stuff out of the cargo box that I use regularly. That's all going to go into these boxes here, and then just rearrange all my tools and stuff and first aid kits so it all goes into, one of the first aid kits anyway, that will go into the cargo box. Now, that was not going to be the end of the video because I was going to test out the solar panel. However, in typical Cairns fashion, in case you guys can't hear it on the camera, it is now raining, so I won't be able to do the solar panel test today to see how much power we can get and how it sets up and stuff, unfortunately. So you know what, I'm going to make another video tomorrow. The weather is supposed to be better tomorrow, so I'm going to make another video just for that. But what I'll also chuck in there as well is, and this is going to be important for the trip, because as you know, those of you who have done the trip before, the PDR is probably going to be bad now. That's the road that goes up to the top. It's going to be really bad now because it's raining. So airing down, because I've got a ute, is going to be a must. So I've got these Storm tire deflators. Haven't used them yet. So what I might do is I'm going to make one more video before I head off on my trip. And that's going to be to show you the solar panel. And it's also going to be to see how these Storm tire deflators work and to get them set up so it can just go straight down to like 24 PSI, somewhere around there. So it's a little bit comfier on the road. So that's going to be the next video. So if you guys want to see the kind of trip prep for that, I might also start taking some of the stuff out of the cargo box as well and start rearranging my tools. So it's all in easy to access areas like these boxes. That's my plan anyway. All right, so guys, a bit disappointing to finish that I didn't get to do the solar panels, but it is what it is. And yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope this kind of gives you a bit of inspiration. I'm always really interested to see how people set up their utes, but no one, yeah, it's really hard to find people who do ute tub setups that don't have like the big $4,000 pull-out trays and all that sort of stuff. So I hope that this gives some of those people out there that have either difficult to organize spaces like this, like a big open space like this, or they have their own ute and they don't want to go to a $20,000 canopy setup like me. Then, you know, hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration so you guys can kind of, yeah, it just goes to show you it doesn't take a lot of money to be able to get your water, your food, and easy to access things. And yeah, and then you've got your fridge and stuff like that. And it cost me $50-ish in tie downs. It was about 100 and something, 120 or so for the boxes, and about $100 or so for the water. So, I mean, all up, it's not much money. And it looks like a very professional setup, and this is going to be a setup that's going to last a long time. I hear this is very good quality gear, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the front runner gear goes. I have their rack, which I've got mixed reviews about, but anyway, if you want to see what I think about that, I'll put a link to a video up the top. But so yeah, I'm hoping these boxes and that are a little bit better, but from the reviews, they are. So, alrighty guys, next video, solar panel and deflators, so we can get ready and also organize these boxes so we can get ready for the trip to the tip. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you down in the comment section. See you there.